I'm about to show you a garden that proves that whatever challenges you face in your own garden, there is a way to overcome them.
It's just rocks.
You can see the salt, something I didn't get right.
I happened upon this garden because of this beautiful dinner of fresh grouper and amazing vegetables. But before this happened, I had to get there, more than 2,000 miles from my southeastern Wisconsin garden to the island of Jost van Dyke in the British Virgin Islands. We picked up a mooring in Great Harbor and had a fabulous dinner at a little restaurant called the Tipsy Shark. And that's where I met the owner, Renee, who told me that all the vegetables they serve are grown right in the back of the restaurant, and that the great grouper that I was eating had been caught in the waters that basically lap up to the front door of this restaurant. And her father, Singh, is responsible for all of it. And that's when I asked Renee if I could come back early the next morning and get a tour of the garden. This garden, which I'd say was maybe about 80 feet long by about 30 or 40 feet wide, has many challenges. But the biggest one is certainly the lack of soil. There's very little soil on these islands. What they do have is very sandy and very rocky. The soil just basically blows away. I mean, you guys are doing something different than what a lot of people are doing here, right?
Yes, most definitely. Because it's hard to grow stuff here. Everywhere you go, it's just rocks.
Right.
You know.
There's just no soil.
Right.
You got to make soil.
You gotta make it. And whenever you find some soil somewhere, you gotta like put stuff into it. Like my dad goes to the beach side and pick up like corals and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because some reason he said those dead corals have a lot of stuff in them.
As you might expect, the solution to this problem was compost. Lots and lots of compost.
We take everything from the kitchen. Not everything. The citrus stuff, we sift them out and we put them in a spot. We cover them up. Sometimes we use sargassum from the sea, fish scales, coffee grounds, eggshells, whatever, and put it together and break it down.
And about how long, I mean, since you've got different piles going on, it's probably hard to tell when you get like how long the finished compost process is.
So
but
it rains and stuff, and it helps break it down fast with the sun and everything. Probably he used that in a year time.
So they were growing a handful of vegetables in this garden, but there was some diversity. Many tomatoes, which was probably the biggest crop that I saw growing there. Also cucumbers, okra, various types of squash and pumpkins. A few peppers here and there, and some herbs.
These are cucumbers that he's going to use back for seeds.
Tomatillo.
Yeah. But it's like when it's ripe, it's really sweet. I come here and I pick them. It tastes like a baby tomato, but sweeter. See, this one's not good. So this is gourd. This is a sweet gourd.
Okay.
It grows like long like this.
And what do you do with that?
Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you use that in like soups and stews? Yeah.
You can do stews. You can do like fish stew or chicken or something. But this is really good. See a little ones coming out here?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
So that will grow like...
oh, really? Arm length?
Yeah.
Now, Singh is responsible for this garden, and he starts most of his seeds in 72 cell trays. They really rely on being resourceful and using what they have. So, for instance, palm fronds are used as mulch. This helps obviously keep the soil cool, which is very important, as you might imagine, in a tropical climate. But more than that, it keeps the soil in place. They also had some interesting crops growing there that they quite liked a lot.
Dandelion.
Oh, dandelion.
Yeah.
And dandelion greens are good. So do you use that in, are you cooking with dandelion greens?
This every day.
Yeah.
With salad.
Salad. Oh, so you just eat it raw, mixed in with the salad. Yeah.
You can cook it too. How these things grow healthy.
Yeah.
And grow wild.
That's wonderful.
But people don't know about it.
Now, all of the vegetables they grow are either eaten in their own restaurant or they also sell to other restaurants. And interestingly enough, Singh told me he also sells his vegetables to the big grocery store in the area, which is a Right Way. Now, another big challenge here, which is possibly even more difficult to manage, is salt. This garden is just steps away from the Caribbean Sea. And so there is a lot of salt that's blown on there. There's salt in the soil. And Singh was noticing a lot of his crops struggling with the signs of salt damage.
You can see the salt.
Is this, so this is...
You see the yellowness of the leaf?
Yeah.
The salt, the flat of the land, the salt still linger. Before the last season, things were dying, things weren't growing.
Yeah.
And I had to bring a backhoe and dig these drains.
Oh.
Because the salt, the water from the sea seeps under. When the tide raises, it leaves the salt on top of the land.
Okay.
And when it go down, it leaves the salt up. Kills the plant. So now, digging these drains and making those banks, when you water it, the rain falls, it washes the salt down. Drainage and irrigation is the key to agriculture.
They're also very creative in how they do things. They have various compost piles in several places throughout the garden, so it's not just one big compost area. They catch as much rainwater as they can. They have a small cistern that they catch rainwater in, and then they also have these big sections of a giant dome. I assume this was like a satellite dome kind of thing. They actually found these at the junkyard after Hurricane Irma whipped through. Now, they weren't on this property when the hurricane came through. They actually bought it after the hurricane. But they did go to the dump to go find anything they could use, which they now use as water catchment areas as well as a compost area.
When rain comes, he used the rainwater, but when it doesn't, we have to use the street water.
Oh, so you do irrigate if you have to?
Yes, so he's got lines everywhere set up. So when the rain doesn't fall, he just like turn on the cistern water. And yeah.
Now, Singh is doing an amazing thing. He is trying to meet the demand of this island. He is the only person on this island who supplies fresh vegetables grown there to other people on the island. One of the crops that he desperately wants to grow and is really needed there is lettuce. So he's been trying to experiment with hydroponics, but unfortunately, he's not had a good go of it.
And the main thing is the idea why I start this thing is to get fresh lettuce to supply the island. Lettuce is one of the more food going. Every restaurant, they need the lettuce, fresh lettuce, right? And if we can get this set up every day, the restaurant can send and get fresh lettuce every day.
Yeah.
Rather than the lettuce come from supermarket, by the time you use it half spoiled. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not good. I set up everything, but I never do it. I had no idea. A friend tell me about it from Trinidad. They do it in Trinidad. So he's supposed to come down and show me how to do it. Something I didn't get right. I try it. It grew a little bit, but it suddenly died down. We need somebody, an expert, one person to come and show us what to do. That wouldn't cost much. Just come and show us what to do, and after then, we're gonna do it ourselves.
And this isn't Singh's only job. He is also a fisherman who fishes almost daily when the conditions warrant for fish for the restaurant, and that is where that great grouper that I had came from. And so you also said your dad's the fisherman here too, so he catches the fish that you guys serve here. So are you guys using whatever fish parts are left that gets broken down too? I mean, that's such a good fertilizer.
Yes.
So
whatever fish my dad bring in, that's what we sell to the restaurant.
Yeah.
When people call, I usually say you gotta wait by 4 to know all the stuff from that too. You know, we just like put them back into plants left to eat what people eat.
Now, it should be noted that Renee, who I believe is doing most of the cooking in addition to owning the restaurant, makes amazing food. This dinner was spectacular. Look at that, it's a beauty.
Already?
So what will become of that? What will you be making with that?
Pumpkin rice, pumpkin soup.
Oh, yum. Yum. Wonderful. Don't just give up on gardening because you have challenges. If Singh can grow a garden like this with all of these challenges that he has and all of these things that he had to sort of brainstorm a way out of, then certainly you can grow something as well. Well, thank you so much for the tour. I really appreciate it.
No problem.